Hello. Hello. Okay, listen, the secret to life is emotional regulation. The Stoics were onto something. Unfortunately, I still haven't figured out how to regulate my emotions, so I can't help you. But that being said, the reason why I bring it up is because I did research into I've made a video on this before, but it was a much more condensed video of like all the top behaviors that contribute to all diseases, and it was like exercise, sleep, blah blah blah. But I decided to do a like full in-depth thing where I looked up the top 10, because I think that one had included things like well-being. Well-being is not the same thing as dying, right? Because the thing, for example, spending time with your friends can improve your well-being, but spending time with your friends will not prevent death if you don't take care of your body. So this is like very bodily based death prevention, versus the other one was like health and wellness and well-being, and well-being is the positive version of staying alive. This is just about literally physically staying alive. So I did an in-depth cross analysis of the things that contribute to the top killers. What are the top killers? You say heart disease, cancer, COVID currently. I'm sure if I had to adjust this like 10 years back or whatever. No, now you're gonna make me do it, aren't you? What were the top killers 10 years ago? Chat. I just love that chat means so many things. It means chat, like your group chat. Chat means chat GBT. What were top 10 killers in, it's 2026, 2019. That's still COVID, but what were top 10 killers in, let's do 2015, and then we'll do 2010. Yeah? But anyway, this is the recent list. Heart disease, cancer, COVID, stroke, injury, accident, respiratory diseases, kidney disease, liver disease, suicide, and obesity are tied. And strong contributors to those things are inflammation, stress, blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, and Alzheimer's. And then, top 10 killers in 2019, heart disease, cancer, injury, respiratory, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidney disease, the flu, and pneumonia, and suicide. So COVID hadn't appeared yet, but the flu and pneumonia were still taking people out at very high rates. But now COVID is like number 3. And then top 10 in 2015, heart disease, cancer, respiratory diseases. Oh, chronic lower respiratory diseases was number 3. So COVID. Well, I mean, COVID is an acute respiratory, but you get the point. The point is it's a respiratory disease. Unintentional injury, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, flu, influenza, pneumonia. The flu, COVID, pneumonia. You get the point. Kidney disease and suicide. Oh, liver disease hadn't been on there. We getting drunk a little bit more, it seems. Liver disease is not on the 2019 top 10 killers in 2025. When did lizard disease, when did liver disease appear? Because the rest are pretty consistent. Heart disease, cancer, respiratory, injury, accident, Alzheimer's, diabetes, kidney, stroke. Respiratory is the COVID, influenza, pneumonia stuff. Yeah? Heart, cancer. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, but point is, it's 4 minutes in, so let me just tell you, all of those things have the same contributors that prevent the disease. Oh my God, it's almost like we were created by God and have a optimum way of existing. And if you go with that optimum way of existing, the whole organism functions well, rather than you having to treat the symptoms, which is what's wrong with the US healthcare system. They treat the symptoms instead of holistically, from the inside out, making the organism healthy. Where the hell did I get COVID from? Because this is saying heart disease, cancer, unintentional injury, stroke, chronic respiratory diseases, Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza, pneumonia, kidney disease, and there's the liver disease. Oh man, liver disease appears in 2025. But COVID, COVID is not a top killer. Respiratory is a separate item. Influenza, pneumonia, influenza and pneumonia. I'm out here misguiding the people. Okay, well, how do we prevent and cause those? Before I say this, what's the list? Exercise, number one thing. Boom, boom, boom. Somehow, exercise is tied to every disease. All of them. Every single one. Every single one. And then this one the next item I'm very disappointed by, just because of how inequitable our healthcare system is and how classist a lot of things are and how expensive things are and how healthcare is driven by capitalism and profitability. But preventing, screening, and early treating infection, illness, and pain appeared in 16 different categories in my cross analysis. So number one, exercise. Number two, prevent and treat early, which sucks for me because I hate going to the doctor. I also can't afford it, but I hate it, even when I can't afford it, because they be some hoes. They be telling me to go home and take ibuprofen, especially as a Black woman. The gaslighting is crazy. Alas. Anyway, next item is prevent obesity, don't be fat. Sorry, fat phobia is medically necessary. I think the problem is we think we can tell who's fat or not. For example, I have concerning cholesterol levels and you would never know. Meanwhile, my friend who works out all the time gets bullied for being fat. And she's actually healthier than me. And that's why fat phobia is a problem. Next, sleeping enough, and the part that I was shocked by, not only getting enough sleep, getting consistent timed sleep, going to bed at the same time. Whoa, I'm out here like, oh, I'm getting all my 8 hours, whatever. But if you get 8 hours from 3 a.m. and then 9 p.m. and then 1 p.m., girl, stop. Go to bed at the same time, please. Don't smoke. It's actually crazy how we choose to add things to our life that kill us. And you know why? Because of the thing I said at the beginning of the video, emotional regulation. We're stressed, we're upset, so we eat, so we smoke, so we drink. Next thing, whole unprocessed food. Came up in 10 different illnesses / causes of death. Next, manage stress. Whew, boy, do I have a hard time with that one. Avoid alcohol. There's that substance abuse again. High fiber, surprisingly high, right? Tied with alcohol in terms of how many illnesses it comes up in as a preventative measure. Prevent diabetes, control your blood pressure, limit sugar. Ooh, your dentist already told you that, but now all of these diseases are always also telling you that. Yikes. Manage inflammation, because disease is often inflammation. And then this one I was shocked by. Air filtration and avoiding pollution. I have an air filter in my house. I thought I was just being fancy and bougie. Nope. Shit will literally kill you. It's very serious. So get an air filter. And then influenza and pneumonia, preventative factors. Vaccination, treat it. Damn. Now prevent, treat, screen. Just got another point. Reduce exposure. That was somewhere else on this list. Avoid viral exposure. Another one, but it only came up one time, and I ranked the things that came up the most. So everything on this list has 5 or more instances. Do not smoke. Oop, another point for not smoking. Control underlying medical conditions like heart, liver, kidney disease, and heart, liver, kidney disease are prevented by all of these things. Diabetes, prevented by all of these things. Treatment, prevent infection by washing or sanitizing your hands. And prevent aspiration when relevant. Okay, so The influenza and pneumonia thing actually didn't throw it off that much. It just gave prevent and treat a couple other points, extra points, becoming the actual #1 way to not die, which is fucked up because access to healthcare is super inequitable. And then do not smoke, and then control all these other conditions that contribute to that. And then be clean. Wow. Yeah. So it's interesting because being clean, aka preventative behavior, hygiene, whatever, came up only a few times, and vaccines only came up a few times. But what they came up for, super big deal. Super big deal. Viral load only came up once. Vaccine only came up 3 times. Now 4. Viral load now 2. Prevent and treat. Practice infection hygiene. Hygiene? Preventative equipment. No, that's not, that's something else. Home hazard. No, that's something else. For avoiding falls. Where's the prevent and treat? I guess maybe I just grouped it in with preventative. Prevent and treat, regular meals, cognitive stimulation, don't sit for long, high muscle mass, medication, socialize, delay suicide, don't do drugs, increase potassium. Cleaning. Cleaning your hands and surfaces and prevent viral load. I'll have to recount that in here, but you get the point. It actually doesn't change the fact that exercise and preventing and screening disease are significant. And the crazy part is most people don't exercise. Woo! Imagine having free access, by the way. You can exercise for free, thank God. May not be able to screen a disease for free, but you can exercise for free. Imagine having free access to the top healthcare intervention and choosing not to participate in it because you don't like it. You're like, oh, I don't like to exercise. I get it. I didn't start exercising regularly until a couple years ago, because I read the book Burnout, and it was like, oh, exercise is super good for your mental health. Because again, my body looks like this. Most people exercise for aesthetics, so I wasn't particularly motivated to. Come to find out, I have concerning cholesterol levels, and my mental health is in the trash. So I should be doing that for those reasons. But nobody told me that. Everyone was just like, I want abs. I want a fat ass. No, actually, if you want to just stay alive, stay alive. Stay alive. Exercise.